Alright guys, before we start this video and I start tearing apart the RV, we gotta talk about this beard. I gotta do something about it. First of all, just remember, I was just doing this for fun. I didn't know how long it was gonna get. I didn't know how much I would like it. I can't stand it anymore. It itches like crazy and it doesn't feel good on the side of my face, so I'm gonna get rid of it a little bit. I will just say I've been combing and brushing it. I've been putting in beard oil in between at least once a day, and you know, I don't know. I'm just kind of over it, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get it off the side of my face and just keep the goatee for a little bit here. Oh, my face feels so much lighter already. I'm just going to clean it up a little bit, but yeah, big difference. Okay. It's a miracle. There's 0% chance of snow today here at Rife Lake in Glenoma, Washington, but as you can see, I hate it when they say 0%. Why can't you at least just say there's 1%? There's always 1% chance of precipitation. There's always 1% chance of snow. Look at the frickin' trees. It's just the next morning. It's 7 a.m. It looks like I'm back up in the frickin' mountains. It's awesome. I've got the umbrella over the camera system just to protect that little umbrella. It's kind of pretty here. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. It's kind of nice seeing it like this since I've never seen this area. We don't get a lot of snow even in the winter. Even in the winter, it's usually just going to be rain precipitation when it does come down. So this is pretty unusual, but on the road I've heard from family and friends that it has been a very snowy winter thus far, even over here. It's fine though. Like I said, I have got lots of work to do inside the RV. All the hang gliders have left. Nobody's down here. There's just that one RV parked right there. But yeah, got work to do today, so stay inside and try to stay warm. I didn't want to put on like a whole bunch of extra clothes. I'm still in shorts and a t-shirt, and now I'm freezing. So let's go inside. Alright, so sometimes when I do projects or something in the RV, I feel like I have to, or it comes across like I'm trying to defend myself or my actions or what I think I'm going to do with the RV, and I don't intend for it to be that way. Basically, I just try to give as much information as possible for someone else that might be like, well, why would you do that, Eric? Why do you choose to run your buddy heater when you have a perfectly working propane furnace on board that's more efficient? Efficient being like heat-wise, but not the fact that the buddy heater doesn't draw off the batteries to be able to push the heat around. So a lot of times I just like to talk other RVers through my ideas. And today, this dinette is going to be removed from the RV. Now, I want to just first of all say the cushions are incredibly uncomfortable. The dinette serves a lot of purposes in the RV manufacturing world. It hides a lot of junk underneath and turns a floor plan that you might not be able to do anything with into, hey, let's just build a dinette, and then people will have a place to eat their meals. But it takes up so much room. It's incredibly uncomfortable, and I can really only last comfortably about 45 minutes in this before everything is just screaming inside. It's terribly uncomfortable. And there's just another, it just takes up so much room. It takes up almost as much room as the queen-size bed in the back, which I would never compromise. I mean, I love having it. But it's going to come out. What I did is I went to that RV junkyard in Chehalis, and I'm going to be there tomorrow to pick up my jackknife sofa. But I found a jackknife sofa for $100 used. And the cool thing about the jackknife sofa is, unlike conventional sofas, it has a very high clearance because it doesn't need to have springs that are lower. So it can sit on top of some of the stuff that is actually underneath this cushion right here. But let me show you what's going on. Now this cushion right here that Jax is on right now, I do not want to mess with this section right here. It's got all of the electronics components right here, followed by the water pump and all of the electronics, followed by the furnace is over in that corner. So this bench I don't want to touch. But this one over here only has the fresh water holding tank in there. and it is about 7 inches up from the floor, although there is a lip right here. I can be able to put the jackknife sofa right here and go across this way, and then it would just be a matter of remounting the TV to the other side, removing the table as well, and then possibly even removing all of the carpet here and continuing on with the tile theme all the way through here. Now, because there is a lip, obviously I'm going to need some kind of a custom support for the jackknife sofa that is shorter on this end and longer on this end in order to keep it level. But first step I'm going to do is take apart the table, and unlike other dinette tables, mine is not one that can be easily changed into a bed. It has to be completely undone. It's been made permanent. So I'm going to get rid of that, clear out this corner, and then I'll start dismantling this dinette to see what's going on with the water tank. Okay, so as you can see, I've got the bench seat off, and we can see that the only thing down here is my freshwater holding tank. And before we get any farther, I want to measure this and find out exactly how many gallons this onboard tank holds. And to do that, I'm going to multiply the length times the width times the depth, and then you divide by 231, as a gallon is equal to 231 cubic inches. So we are 32 by 20 by 11. 32 times 20 times 11 equals 7,040, divided by 231 equals 30.4. We'll just call it a 30 because there's a little bit of a recess right here. Actually, maybe even 28. No, we'll call it 30. This is a 30-gallon tank. Okay, why is that important? Why did I even bring that up? Okay, before we go any farther, understand what I want to do is get rid of all of the wood here and then have a jackknife sofa here instead of the tiny little bench seat right here. So technically, this would be a great time to upgrade my onboard water holding capacity. And as it turns out, I did get the measurements for something that was also at the RV junkyard, and I'm going to put this up here. This is a tank that he has for sale that has all, I think it has all of the same connections. But if you look at the dimensions here on top, this one for sale is a 58-gallon holding tank. So that nearly doubles my existing tank. It is 26 3/4 inch wide, 9.5 inches deep, and 55 3/4 long. So it is significantly longer. It is, let me see, 6 inches deeper. And as far as the actual height, I guess we're calling it the height, it's actually a little bit shorter than the existing one, which is great because I'm going to have the couch. And in order to have the jackknife work so that it will open up into an actual bed, you're going to want to have the clearance there. So, I think we're going to do it. I didn't want to say it. I didn't buy it. I did buy the couch jackknife sofa, and I'll show you a picture of that. The color scheme is kind of light grayish, bluish type stuff. And it's going to basically go across behind the captain's chairs up front, and then it will be able to fold out into a bed for an extra bed just in case I need it. And that will totally fit here. But now that I've actually thought about the water capacity and everything, I am probably going to buy the other tank and swap this 30-gallon out for that 58-gallon. The only other thing to consider is the actual weight difference. So by storing that much more water, I'm going to add more weight to this RV. But you also have to consider the fact that I have been hauling around 14 extra gallons of water non-stop right here in the corner with those 2 blue containers. Basically non-stop because I like to fill up this 30-gallon tank before I have to use those, but I always have them for emergencies. So that would have always given me, what, 44 gallons of water. And now I will be able to get rid of the 2 blue containers and just have 58 gallons, and then never have to worry about pouring those blue containers into this to be able to use inside. But the other calculation is, I really want to know what the weight difference is going to be. So normally I would have 44 gallons of water. 44 times 8. There are 8 pounds per gallon of water. So that equals 352 pounds normally that I carry as far as water. 352. If I upgrade to the 58 gallon water tank, it increases to 464. So about 100 pounds more is all I'm really going to be adding to it. And I will have alleviated the problem of not having much storage and having to refill that tank. And it'll be better for boondocking long term. Hey, Jax! It'll be better for us, it'll be more convenient, and it only adds about 100 pounds, so yes. When we go back tomorrow to pick up the couch, I'm going to swap this tank. Okay, so here's an interesting discovery, and might I also say, you don't know what you're going to get into until you start tearing it apart. Now, I thought that this little 2-inch lip goes all the way across. I just figured it was to reinforce the water tank. But as you can see, it's only for the middle section where your feet are when you're at the bench, almost like just to get your feet a little higher, because all this stuff and all the electronics in here were just raising the bunk, the dinette seats too far. So this is actually great news, because this means that the water tank I'm going to swap out for it is going to be able to stay on one flat surface. And I'm even going to be able to take this out, probably, and after the cat walks by. Can you continue to move, please? Thanks, guy. I'm going to try to take this out, and hopefully it's just subfloor underneath, flat, and that'll be perfect. I'm going to take a break at this point right now. I'm going to take a very long hot shower, because as you can see, I've got about 15 gallons of water here still in the tank. Might as well use that up before I empty and remove this tank. Alright, well, I didn't use much water to take my shower, so I opened up the spigot on the outside to drain out the tank here, so that I will be able to move this tank out of the way for now. I guess next, I got the back piece off as well, and I guess the next step is going to be to remove this platform, then verify the condition of the subfloor all around this area, and then possibly even start retiling up to make this all flush, because I have extra tiles. Alright, this is super, super exciting. This is exactly what I wanted to see, actually. So, the only purpose of that raised thing right there was for your feet to be a little higher when you're at the dinette. And actually back here, you can see that's where the intake goes into the water pump, as well as some wires, which I can still cover up in that corner with the right kind of molding. So, awesome. This is awesome. Just going to get rid of these seat belt brackets here, because I'll have no use for them with the couch. Alright, so maybe you were thinking about this the same time I was. These bolts that stick up for the seat belt brackets are in my way. And guess what? I can't get at them, because they were done before the generator was put in underneath the floor. So, I don't have the right bit right now, but I am going to stop at a hardware store and get a Dremel and just shear those right off so that I can have a flush surface to put the new tank. That's going to wrap it up for this part of the video, guys. I'm going to call this part 1 and hopefully get this all sorted out. I'm going to do a part 2 video for tomorrow, so stay tuned for the hopeful eventual resolution and finish of this project. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hey guys, this is Jax, my kitty cat. I'm his servant, Eric. Thanks for watching our YouTube channel here on RVing. If you liked the video, give us a thumbs up below. Make sure you subscribe, check out all our other videos, and keep following us on the road. Thanks, guys.